Welcome to Painting on Silk for Beginners. This is my Simple Rose Designs Part 2. Hi, I'm Teena Hughes from howtopaintonsilkwithteenahughes.com. Yesterday I played around a little bit with some silk dye on my silk and some texta pens or marker pens, which are actually of the brand IDENTI Pen in orange, purple and black, and I had a lot of fun. So today I'm just continuing on with this by drawing some very rough flower shapes. Now, in case you didn't see video 1 in this little set, I'm just playing. This is my daily play on silk painting. I'm not trying to make it look fabulous. I'm not going to try and sell this. This is just me testing out the new pens and having I call it a play. It's just like a daily way of keeping in touch with my silk dyes, and I just come up with crazy things that I do on silk. So bear with me as I just draw some shapes. Now, they're not specific flowers, they don't have to look like roses, they don't have to look like anything. It's just me doodling with these pens. The great thing with these pens is I'm just drawing shapes. I'm not using any outliners or glitter on the silk. I'm just drawing shapes with pens and then testing to see how they go with the silk dyes. Now, as we saw in day 1, and I'll put a link down below so you can go back to video 1, I use very little dye on the paint brushes, and so the dye did not flow like it normally does, and that was fantastic. So that gave me a bit more control over the dye, and because this is just a play day, there was no need for me to worry about the dyes going outside the lines, or in the case of those 2 flowers you see right now that are on the screen, the hot pink and yellow and orange, they were actually painted first, and then I went back over with some dye to create some lines with the pens to create the outside borders. So you can do whatever you like. You can use the IDENTI pens before you paint or after you paint. Either way does not matter. Okay, now I'm filling this up just with some orange shapes, and you'll see a piece of wood which is one of the sides of a frame that I've just rested on the silk. Actually, it's allowing me to rest my arm while I'm drawing on the silk, so I'm not getting a sore arm, which I would do if I was otherwise doing this for a long period of time. This is something I've used over many years. Just gives me a bit more control, and I just rest it in between the sections of the silk that are dry. I don't want to be putting my wood down on anything that's wet there. So then I'm able to just go back and draw a bit more on the dry silk. So I'm doing some little orange circles, and I'm just out of view there at the moment in the bottom left hand corner. But this is just, again, playing on the silk, and then I'm going to come back over it with some dye and we'll see what it looks like after that. As for these shapes I'm drawing, they're just crazy. It's just me doodling, really. I'm just doodling, nothing in particular, just to put some marks down on the silk. And I think too that's something that we all need to be aware of. We all want to have beautiful, perfect hand-painted silk as a result of our efforts, but at the same time it's good to have a play, good to have, you know, times when we can paint outside the lines, so that we're just flexing our painting muscles, I guess. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time, and in this case, where this piece of silk is going nowhere, it's not being sold, it's not going to be steamed, it's not going to be used in any way as a gift for anybody, it's not going to end up in someone else's hands, so therefore I can be as crazy as I like with the lines and the shapes that I'm drawing. Even with the petals of the flower that I've gone back now, and I'm doing some purple lines on the flower petals. whereas I had outlined that particular flower in black. But it doesn't matter, the colours don't have to match. It's just a little bit of enjoyment so that I can play around. Unfortunately, I didn't have my camera focused on the bit that I'm painting right now, but that's all right. We'll see it in just a second. There we go. I'm painting some blue on some petals, and then I'll continue to do that. Now these dies are all leftover dies that I am using here, so some of them are quite old, but I thought rather than wash them down the sink or try and dispose of them, I'll use them up in my little play days. And you can see that it's only a minute or so since I drew those purple lines on the petals, and now I'm able to paint over them without any problems whatsoever. So that's marvellous. These IDENTI pens are quite wonderful, and I'm really glad that I found out about these, because it means that you have great control. You might want to go back over a silk painting and put some shadows or add in some finer details. Whatever you want to do, you're able to do that with these IDENTI pens. I've just added a photo of my silk to a new app. What do you think? In this last little bit of this video, I've increased the speed to 200% so that you're not sitting there waiting while I'm just playing. Now with this lilac-y purpley colour that I'm putting on the background, it's, as I said, these are old colours, so you can see some pinky streaks in there, which is okay. I'm now going back to some of the flowers and adding some of the purple on. And again, this is just playing. This is nothing fancy. And what I'm going to do is eventually fill in the entire background with the lilac, and then we'll see what the whole picture looks like. So I'll be finishing that off tomorrow. I'm going to leave that for today and then get back to it tomorrow. So there'll be another video. And now, look at this, woohoo! Using that same app, I've now added some animation to the silk, and I think it's pretty cool. What do you think? Get this bit too, look at me! Moving fabric, okay. Alrighty, that's it from me for today. This is Teena Hughes from howtopaintonsilkwithteenahughes.com. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be part 3, the end of this particular painting. Ciao, ciao for now. Don't forget to pop over to the website to find out more, or subscribe to this video channel. Ciao, ciao, bye-bye.